our family's favorite.
That's right, our family loves friendship bread, but to do friendship bread you have to start with a starter kit. And I know not everyone out there has starter kits, so we're going to real quick show you how to make a starter kit, and then in 10 days you can bake what we just are going to show you how to bake today. So you only need 4 simple ingredients. The first thing you want to do is you want to get a gallon Ziploc bag, okay? And you're going to need these throughout the whole recipe. So in your gallon Ziploc bag, you want to put a cup of sugar, a cup of milk, and a cup of flour, okay? And go ahead and you zip that up and you squish it around. We've already done this. We've already squished it around and put it together. But what you also want to do while that's sitting there is you want to take just 1 packet of yeast, and you want to put this together with a 1/4 cup warm water, about 110-degree water. Just put it in a little bowl and set aside for about 10 minutes. It's going to start to get a little bit warmer, start to bubble, and in 10 minutes you want to go ahead and add that to your mixture. So you just open it up, pour in the active yeast, you zip it back up, and then you put it aside for 5 days. Every day you do want to, what?
Squish it
and burp it. You want to let the air out. On the 5th day, you go ahead and just add another cup of flour, a cup of milk, and a cup of sugar. Okay, you zip it back up and you
squish it
and burp it again for another 5 days. On the 10th day, you're going to start your baking process, and that's what we're going to show you now. So go ahead and take your starter, and you're going to just put it over to the side and just let it sit there, as I say, for 5 and then another 5 days. And then what you're going to have is you're going to come up with this. You can see how our bag has grown, okay? And what we're going to do, Paris and I are just going to show you, you just take your mixture here and you just put it in a plastic bowl. It's real important when you're doing this baking process of friendship bread that you do not use any type of metal. You only want to use plastic or rubber or glass, okay? Because the metal just does not do well with the friendship bread. So we're going to go ahead and put that in here. Put that over to the side here, okay? Now this is really easy. All you're going to add to this right now, Paris will let you go ahead and do the stirring. You're going to go ahead and just add 1 and a half cups flour here. So we're going to put 1 and a half cups flour in here. We're going to put 1 and a half cups sugar. And we like to mix our sugar. We use part white sugar and part brown sugar. So there you go, just 1 and a half cups sugar. Okay. And then we put in 1 and a half cups milk. And Paris, while I'm doing this, why don't you tell them a little bit about the stirring technique that you're going to be using throughout?
Okay. Well, when you have like a big bowl and it's full of liquid, you simply just take a spoon and like bring all that liquid into the middle, so
Right.
it doesn't splatter everywhere.
Right, you kind of do the folding technique, and that's what she's showing you how to do here, because as she said, if you just start stirring it around really quick, it's going to what?
Splatter
It's going to
everywhere.
splatter everywhere. So we just want to fold it all together here. And it's okay that it's going to be a little bit lumpy, because as you squish it throughout the next 10 days, those lumps will start to disappear. So how do you think this is looking, Paris?
Good.
Okay. And what we want to do you want to grab our big Ziploc bags? What you need to do now, this is when we divide the batter. And this is your opportunity to share it with other people. So once again, you're going to need to get your Ziploc bags out. And the way we make it, because we have a large family, is we double the recipe. So we're just going to split this 2 times, okay? Stir it pretty good here. We're going to take one of the bags here, and we're just going to put a cup of mixture. Okay, just add a cup of mixture in the bag. Put more in there. And in another bag, go ahead and zip that up. We're going to put another cup of mixture. What this gives you, it gives you 1 bag to share, and it gives you 1 bag to keep. And once again, the process just continues. In another 10 days, you'll be ready to start cooking again. This is the name is friendship bread, so you definitely want to share this with someone. And what you do is you just write the date on the bag and let them know what to do on the 5th day and on the 10th day. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 bags aside again. And what we have left is batter in our bowl, and this is when we're going to start to bake the bread. Today we're actually going to make cinnamon friendship bread. There's several different variations that you can do. Sometimes we make chocolate. What are some of the other ones we do?
We put chocolate chips in, not just the whole thing
Chocolate chips, exactly. We do that. So we're going to go ahead. It's real easy to follow along. Paris can continue to stir. And we're just going to tell you the ingredients that we're putting in as we do it. The first thing you do, you write these down. We put in 6 eggs. Paris went ahead and already cracked these eggs for us. She's our master egg cracker here in the family. So thank you for doing that, Paris. And you can see she's just kind of chopping up the yolks there a little bit, okay? And we want to put in 1 teaspoon baking powder and put in 1 teaspoon baking soda.
Don't get confused.
Don't get confused, but since they're the same amounts, makes it kind of easy, doesn't it? Okay. And we put in 1 teaspoon salt, kind of just brings out the flavor. And our favorite here is a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, we go ahead and add that on. Continue just to break up the yolks a little bit and mix it. Okay. As I say, today we're going to do the cinnamon bread, so we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We'll go ahead and put that all in there. Gives it that nice, rich color, doesn't it? Okay. Now to this, we're going to go ahead and add our 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to have to put that in there. We've already pre-measured this here. So we can move that around. And we're going to add our 4 cups of flour. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the flour. Our families try to get a little healthier, so we try to add a lot more whole grains and whole wheats into our recipes. So what we do is we put in a mixture. We do half and half. We do half whole wheat and half regular flour. What I suggest is that you go ahead, if your children are not used to whole wheat flour, you want to go ahead and probably do a half and half mixture like we're doing today, because the whole wheat's a little grainier and they may not like it, so you can kind of ease them into the process. So how's this going here? We're going to continue to do our folding method, right? You're doing a great job there. Go ahead and incorporate all that flour in. Okay. Just kind of dig down there.
Oh, and even if you don't have a bunch of liquid in your bowl, you can still use the folding technique because it's a really good technique.
It is a great technique, okay? Now, what we're going to do now to add to this, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of milk. Okay. Now this recipe is going to yield 4 loaves, so, and they freeze really nicely. Okay, we're going to do that. And then we're going to add 2 cups of oil. Okay. Get all that liquid turned down in there, right? Okay, so we're going to add 2 cups of oil here. Very good. Okay. Just perfect. How's that coming? This is when you really definitely want to use this turning method, right? Because when all that oil sits on top, you don't want that to splatter all over you, do you?
Plus the milk.
Plus the milk, exactly. So we're just going to incorporate it all together here. How's that looking in there, Paris? What do you think?
Pretty good, but kind of messy.
A little bit messy. You're right now. Exactly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stir that all in there. Now this is the point where you can go ahead and kind of make this bread uniquely your own. Sometimes you can add, if you want to add like a pie filling, like a cherry pie filling or an apple pie filling. Sometimes we add a little bit of applesauce to keep it moist. As I say, you can add chocolate. What we're going to do is we're going to add 1 box of vanilla pudding, which is always good to add. Or you can add chocolate pudding if you're making chocolate bread, because that just helps keep it a little bit moist. Now as Paris goes ahead and stirs this around, the other thing you can do is if you want to make chocolate bread, just take 2 blocks of the dark cooking chocolate, okay? So this is the unsweetened chocolate. You go ahead and unwrap them, put them in the microwave for about 1 minute and 20 seconds. They'll get nice and soft, and you can go ahead and pour that into your batter and incorporate that in there, and it makes a delicious chocolate bread. I think that's probably y'all's favorite. Which one's y'all's favorite?
Chocolate.
The chocolate, yeah. You pack it for lunch every day. As I say, it freezes very nicely. Okay, so that's all incorporating there really good, isn't it? Okay, perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, it's ready to cook. You want to preheat your oven to what? What temperature do we preheat our oven to?
325.
325. So we've preheated our oven already to 325. And we're going to show you one more little trick here. And it's regarding, we can go ahead and bring over our baking dishes here, our bread pans. You want to go ahead and grease your bread pans, and what we do is we use butter. I know a lot of people try to stay away from butter these days, but I'll tell you, butter is really good. It's a natural product. You can use the cooking spray, but that tends to get a little expensive, and a little butter is delicious and it's good for you. You just have to do everything in moderation. But what we do is we just take a little baggie here, put a little bit of our soft butter that we have on the counter, and you just want to grease down the pan, make sure you get on the sides and all the corners. We went ahead and already did it on our other pans. And then we're going to start pouring the batter into the pans here. What we're doing is we're doing 2 of the larger 9-loaf pans and 2 of the 8-inch pans, and that seems to work out just fine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pour some in here. Okay, we'll just start down at this end. Oops, sorry, Paris.
Okay.
Put a little bit in this one. You want to fill just about half full because it will rise quite a bit. Okay? A little bit in each. And don't worry if you don't get them exactly even. You can just borrow from another one once you get them all in the pan and just even it out a little bit. Probably put a little bit more in this one. Just goes out really nice and smooth. Once again, it might be a little lumpy. No worries about that. It bakes up really nicely.
Those are pretty even.
We did get them pretty even this time. You just never quite know, do you? Sometimes they even, and sometimes we have to borrow quite a bit. Go ahead and take your rubber spatula. Once again, you notice we haven't used any metal. Okay. I think that looks pretty even. Maybe just a little bit more in this one. And we'll probably be pretty good. Okay. And what we're going to do on this now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to sprinkle. Paris, you want to go ahead and do this? We're going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon sugar mixture. We make our own cinnamon sugar mixture. You can buy it in the store. Once again, it gets kind of expensive, and our family uses it a lot. So we just always keep a little shaker here on the counter, and we just mix about 3/4 with sugar and about 1/4 worth of cinnamon. And we use it on all kinds of things. What do we sprinkle our cinnamon sugar on?
Bagels.
Bagels.
Dessert
pizza, that's a really good one, yeah. We use this all the time, so it's really nice. Just keep this on your counter. So we're just going to put a little bit more on here. And what this does is just gives it a nice crust, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just a really nice, sweet, flaky crust. Okay? There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in our oven that we preheated. And you want to cook them for about an hour. I usually set my timer for about 50-55 minutes just to check them because the temperatures in the ovens vary. Okay, perfect. Okay, as I say, and set it for just about 50 minutes and get it started. I hope that you enjoyed watching us how to make friendship bread today. As I say, it's our family's favorite. We usually keep a couple loaves out. We freeze some. It just defrosts very nicely overnight on the counter, and you can slice it up the next day. We are going to come and show you all kinds of different fun family recipes that we like to do. So today, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye, but we're going to end with Bon appetit! Thank you.